Welcome back to The Beast Within, where we break down the battles we fight within ourselves and how to conquer them. Today, we're talking about one of the most dangerous beasts we face that we tend to ignore often. And this is the "that won't happen to me" beast. This is the beast that convinces us we're the exception to the rule. It tells us, that won't happen to me. I can handle it. I'll beat the odds. Not me, right? I'm not going to be the one to fall to this. But the truth is, no one is immune. The "it won't happen to me" beast thrives on denial. It whispers that the warnings don't really apply to us, that we're too smart, too strong, too lucky to fall victim to the same traps that happen time over time to other people. It blinds us to reality until reality hits. And by then, it's too late. And that's exactly what we're going to break down in this podcast. We're going to get you to a point where hopefully you are realizing these things before you hit that "oh shit, it's too late" moment. See, this beast shows up and it can be dangerous, and we need to recognize it before it takes over. The probability that this inner beast puts you in a hole is small. It really is. The chances of this thing actually making a huge impact on your life, a dangerous impact, the chances are small, but the more you play with the probability, the higher it gets. We might start out 5%, maybe 10% chance that something, detrimental or scary happens. You tell yourself, what are the odds? But you see, every time you push the boundary, you raise the stakes. The 10% becomes 30, the 30% becomes 60, and eventually it's not luck you're playing with, it's math. And you see, math is undefeated. The math will always catch you in the long run. Our quote for today is, "Not me is how the storm begins. How did this happen is how it ends." You see, this quote highlights the dangerous journey from denial to disaster. It serves as a reminder that refusing to acknowledge risk and thinking "not me" is how problems begin to form. Eventually, these problems, they escalate, and when the consequences, all that's left is either confusion or regret on how you let this happen. There's an analogy I want to dive into on one that we've all heard before. It's very strong, and yet we still contend to do it, on why touching the damn hot stove. We tend to do this after already learning that so many people have touched this exact same stove and it burned them. Some, it's a small burn. Some keep their hand on the stove a little too long. That ends up being a huge impact on their life or even their survival. But we get this notion that I'll be fine. It won't happen to me. I can touch it and if anything, it will just catch me off guard and be a little tiny burn. But you see, this always catches up, and eventually it can put you in a place of sadness, depression, anger, regret. And so what I want this podcast to be, I don't expect you to never mess with the "it won't happen to me" beast. We're all human. We're all going to take risk. We're all going to, if with matter of fact, without the risk, you might go nowhere in life. But what I want this podcast to be is an opening that something could happen. That the more chances you take, the higher the risk and the probability that something can happen to you. So why do we do this? Why do we mess or tame with the "it won't happen to me" beast? So I came up with a couple of things. The first one is ego. We think we're smarter or stronger than others. We think that we're capable and that they weren't. That they fucked up, but you're not going to make that same fuck up. But the person that comes to mind for me, the reason why this beast is so strong and potent for me, the reason why I want to bring this beast to light and attention, is my idol and my hero suffered from this inner beast. And that hero is Kobe Bryant. You see, whether Kobe Bryant, whether the pilot of the helicopter that Kobe was on, one of them, or if not both, went through this inner beast of "not me. I can get on this helicopter when it's a no-fly day. It's not going to happen to me." You see, with Kobe Bryant, it was a foggy day. There was a demand put in for no flights to happen on this day. And Kobe Bryant, family, whoever it may be, willingly got on this plane knowing that it was a no-fly day, knowing that "not me" beast was lurking. The pilot, same thing. He faced this inner beast himself, saying, "I can fly on this day, even though it has been told not to." And so where I'm getting at here is, whether it be ego, whether it be pride, whether it be this "not me" beast, It spoke loudly and ended up ending Kobe Bryant's and everybody else's life on this helicopter. And these are the things that we face with this not me beast. Yes, 99 out of 100 times, that helicopter would have went up and came down safely. But this one time that they decided to test this not me beast, it ended their lives. And so ego is the first thing of why I believe we do this. The other is denial. It's easier to pretend consequences don't apply to us, that we are the exception, that we are the unforgiving rule because we're superhuman. As we're younger, this tends to be a little bit stronger. We tend to believe that we're superhuman and that nothing can hurt us. But denial is one of the reasons we do this. Another one is curiosity. We want to test the limits. We have this thrive to want to be rebellious or to want to push our limits. And so curiosity is one. Another, instant gratification. The high now feels worth the potential crash later. Or, for instance, the not me beast speaks loudly when people drink and drive. Well, why do people drink and drive? Most of the time it's they want to get home safely. They want to be in a comfortable bed. They want to get back to their normal day the next day. Whatever it may be, instant gratification is a huge cause to why people face this beast. They want to feel loved, whether it could hurt somebody else, right? So the not me beast speaks potently and loudly whenever people are cheating. People cheat all the time. And it's that, oh, I'm not going to get caught. Not me, right? No, but she's not going to find out. Who's it going to hurt, right? And then the last one I have of why we do this is just plain stupidity. We don't even think twice. It is something that's not in the back of our mind that what are the consequences? Who can this hurt? Can it hurt myself? Can it hurt other people? What damage am I causing by allowing this not me beast to go ignored? So here's a couple of examples that I think hit strongly when it comes to this beast. We get to see these things firsthand with other people, but for some reason, we don't learn from their experience. The person that got in the car accident from drinking and driving, well, I probably shouldn't do that, right? But we drink and tell ourselves we're good to drive. It's not going to happen to me. That person cheated and lost their whole family. I should stay loyal, right? But we flirt with the line and pretend it's harmless. The person didn't take their health serious. This is a big one, especially that I see. They ended up with a heart attack in their 40s. But not me. We skip workouts, we eat fast food, and we tell ourselves, oh, we'll fix it later. It's not going to happen to me. This is a big one because you see, these things, they accumulate over time. That person didn't just wake up with a heart attack in their 40s from nothing that they didn't previously do. No, they had the not me mindset. It's not going to happen to me. I could eat whatever the fuck I want. I can skip my workouts. I can live an unhealthy lifestyle, and it's not going to catch up to me. No, not me. Well, until it does, right? The person that kept chasing money, and now their kids barely know who they are. We glorify hustle culture and tell ourselves, it's for the family. I'm doing this for them. But the not me catches up, and now all of a sudden, you don't even know who your family is. The person that stayed in a toxic relationship for too long, they lost themselves. But we keep making excuses because starting over sounds scary. You see, facing this inner beast, this not me beast, can prevent you from the long-term damage it can cause. And this goes for anything in life. This isn't just in the fitness world. This isn't just behind the wheel driving. This is anything that if you take the risk day after day, you need to understand that the chances of harm happening become much. So what I've done here is I have split this up into a couple of strong talking points on how this beast can affect us. I want this thing to become so alive and so real to you that you start to notice it in your own life. So a couple of ways that this beast affect us is risks start to become justified. The not me beast convinces us that we can do reckless things time and time again and that it'll not catch up to us. The biggest issue is the more times we try, the more potent it becomes to actually coming to reality that something bad can happen. For example, I can drink and drive. I'm fine. I don't need to wear a seatbelt. I've never crashed before. What's the chances of it's going to happen again? I don't need sleep. I function better this way anyways. I'm more efficient. I get more done. You see, these things can catch up to us, whether it be the drinking and driving. That all it takes is one. You get in that accident, you hurt yourself. You get in that accident, you hurt somebody else. Now your actions are no longer justified. I don't need to wear a seatbelt until you're in that accident. I don't need sleep until you start to make bad decisions or ultimately don't have the energy to get through your day. So, a question I want to reflect on is, have you ever ignored a warning sign because you thought you were different? And if any, what were the consequences? You see, this is speaking from somebody who has faced addiction myself. Ignoring warning signs is how addiction and self-destruction start. You see, these warning signs, this beast tells us we're in control even though we're spiraling. For example, any of you that have faced this, hear me out. I can quit anytime. It's not that bad. Other people get addicted. I won't. I can stop anytime. It's under control until it's not. We tell ourselves these. I know plenty of people that have faced this and still face this today. I know plenty of people that it's as simple as smoking a cigarette. I can quit anytime. It's not going to hurt me. The thing is compound effect of time. Whenever you do something over and over and over, well, this is now a habit, right? And we can have good habits, we can have bad habits. Unfortunately, in this case, these are bad habits. Something like smoking, you're right. Smoking that one cigarette that one time, probably right. Not that big of a deal. Probably not going to hurt you. But if you don't stop, right? If that addiction continues, which it will, now 20 years down the road, well, now you're, 20,000 cigarettes in. Well, now your lungs are damaged. Now your mind is rotting. Like, this can cause so much more damage the longer you let it go. So reflecting on when has the not me mindset kept you from seeing a bad habit forming? Again, habits can be good, habits can be bad. Something you practice and invite into your life becomes your habits. For example, good habits, going to bed early, going to the gym, tracking your calories. These are all good habits that you establish through mindful practice. But habits are also texting and driving, cheating on your significant other, eating a poor diet. When it comes to habits, you don't see these results or the damage right away. Habits shape us into the person and ultimately the decisions that we're likely to make. So when you eat like shit and you don't see the weight come on immediately, I must be the exception. My body must be working in overdrive. My so-called metabolism must be firing at all levels. So I'm the exception, not me. Not gonna happen to me. Until one day you wake up 40 pounds overweight and can't understand how the fuck this came about. How did I get here? Well, that, my friends, is habits of the compound effect over time. So this won't happen to me turns into, shit, I never thought this would happen to me. How did I get here? What ultimately decisions did I make? So what I'm trying to nail into the coffin here and get you guys to understand that be the exception. And the exception is thinking about these things now. Tackle these things now. Put them to rest now. That is the exception. Because too many people get bit by this not me beast and wake up with this mindset of how did I get here? What happened to my life? And to live to your fullest potential, which is the goal of this podcast, you must at all times keep this in mind. It's like, I'm going to give you an analogy here. It's like ignoring your check engine light in your car. By the time you acknowledge the problem, if you let this just continuously happen over and over and over, eventually the damage is already done. The car's already broken down. Now you have to pay thousands of dollars to fix this issue. And in life, it's the same thing, except, well, yeah, you're probably going to have to pay money for whatever the issue is. This could be finding a trainer, if it's in the health industry. It could be going to the doctor. It could be, but the biggest thing that it's going to take a toll on is your time. Now you're all of a sudden spending time at the doctor's. You're spending time getting your health checked instead of spending time with your family, spending time traveling, spending time things that you want to do to live to your fullest potential are now gone because of the price that you're paying from the not me beast. So understand this beast affects you in so many ways that you don't even know. So how has this beast affected me? What's a time that I saw someone else fall and instead of learning from it, I continuously make these bad habits. I continuously don't check in with my not me beast. For me, I continuously, and I'm going to be completely honest with you here, and I hope this resonates with a lot of you. I text and drive all the time. I'm working. I work and drive all the time. My mindset is I can get so much more done using these hours that I'm behind the wheel that I spend in the car. If I can spend these extra hours working on my business, replying to clients, doing whatever I need to do, I can be further ahead. Now with discovering this beast, I try to check myself on a daily basis. I try to say, damn it, Aaron, like, is work this important? Does it come before my life, before somebody else's potential life? Does this client really need this message immediately? Is it worth the risk that I'm taking? A statistic that I looked up that I'm mind blown on is texting while driving. This is insane. Texting while driving is 6 times more likely to cause an accident than drunk driving. 6 times. It's so crazy because when I'm behind the wheel and I'm doing it, I don't even think twice anymore. It's the new normal for me, and I tell myself, I can see everything. I have not me, right? I'm not gonna hit nobody. I got peripheral vision. It's not gonna happen to me. I'm the exception. And so this not me beast, it hasn't crept up on me yet, meaning now all of a sudden it becomes that much more stronger for me to accept, right? I can text and drive. I've done it so many times and nothing's ever happened. So I must be the change. I must be that change. I must be the exception. It's not going to happen to me. Not that I'm hoping anything ever happens, but it might take to that breaking point, just like for some of you, for it to be realized. And so what I want you to do is practice this, right? Keep this in the back of your mind and understand that you can prevent the problems in your life from happening. All you have to do is bring awareness to them. You see, because it can happen to you. You're not built differently, and it can harm you or other people. So another example that I have in my life is I've watched so many people in business and in work ethic drive themselves into the ground. I watched them crash from burnout physically, mentally, emotionally, and I'd convinced myself that not me. It ain't gonna happen to me. I'm better than them. I'm stronger than them. I am more disciplined and my desire is higher. So for me, I was in a position where I would push myself into the ground daily, way past what my body and my mind were telling me I was capable of. But I kept pushing. More hours, more responsibility, more pressure, skipping rest, skipping meals, ignoring stress, having the thoughts of, I'm just in the grind mode. It's temporary. Other people can do it. I can do it too. But you see, burnout doesn't crash overnight. It leaks quietly while you keep pretending you're fine. I told myself I was just tired, that I'd slow down the next time, the next project, the next launch, the next goal. And then one day, the not me beast crept up on me. All of a sudden, I felt what I can only explain as burnout. No drive, no clarity, just empty. My body wasn't recovering. My mind was dark and negative. And eventually it got to a point where I couldn't do my normal. I couldn't work out. My body was beat to shit. I wasn't recovering. No matter how much rest I got, my body would not allow me to move the way that I was capable of moving. Like I said, my mind was dark. I had negative thoughts. Business in my mind was, I couldn't do it. My confidence shattered. And you see, this is all because of that not me beast and the ignoring of the not me beast until it caught up to me. And so what I had to do is I had to be real with myself. I had to check in with myself, and I had to realize that it can happen to me. I can burn out. I can feel depressed because of this. I can physically not be able to move my body because I allowed this to creep up on me. And I didn't think I could be one of those people until the price had to be paid. And this took me a long time to get out of this burnout phase. And so now I don't ignore those warning signs. The warning signs were constant tension, short temper, isolating myself. I didn't want to be around people. I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to be around my clients. I felt like I was forcing it. I was numbing distractions and my body was breaking down and still telling myself, I'm good. Not me, right? I'm not burning out. I'm too good to burn out. But the thing is I wasn't. I wasn't too good to be burning out. And I was. And so I want you to utilize this podcast for this not me beast. I'm going to give you some tools now necessary that will help you identify this not me beast and help you ultimately put it to bed so you can get out of your own fucking way. Because that's the thing here, is you are going to continuously get in your own way and veer out of the direction that you ultimately want to take. So tool number 1 that I want to put out there is the reality check. So write it down or just repeat it in your head. What's a risk I'm taking that I assume won't affect me? I just went over 2 that I was, right? Texting and driving and pushing myself to burnout. So I want you to write down or just think about it. what is one or two that you're currently doing right now? And weigh the pros and cons, like I just did right now. Is taking the risk getting me closer to my goal? And do I feel at peace with this risk? Do I feel at peace texting and driving? No, I don't. Because ultimately the risk is not worth the reward, right? What is the saying? Is the juice worth the squeeze, right? And in this beast, it's not. The juice is never worth the squeeze when it comes to this beast. So ask yourself, what would I say if someone I loved was doing this? Would I be so easy on them? If somebody I loved was drinking and driving, would I be so, oh, it's okay, you'll be fine. Go ahead. Here, I'll give you your keys. Go ahead. See you tomorrow. No, I would not. So treat yourself the way that you would treat others. If your loved one was cheating on their significant other, are you going to applaud them? Or are you going to say, hey, what are you doing, man? You got kids, like you got a family. So be the kind of person that you would want to be for your friend, right? And start putting the attention on yourself. So that's tool number one. Reality check. Check in now before it's too late. Another one that you can do before it's too late is, again, that hot stove. Look, somebody fucking told you this stove was hot, so why touch it, right? Learn from somebody else's mistakes. Instead of thinking, this won't happen to me, shift to, well, what can I learn from somebody else? So if you want to succeed in life, there's a saying, I might have made it up, not sure, but I personally love it. If you want to succeed in life, learn from your mistakes. If you want to succeed much faster in life, learn from others. So learn from somebody else being in your shoes. That's the greatest teacher of all time, because you get to learn the lesson without having to pay the consequences. So for instance, somebody's drinking and driving. Maybe they don't get in an accident. Maybe they get a DUI. Well, damn, that's like $10,000. Damn. That's like going to court all the time. Damn, there is a lot of consequences to getting that DUI. Well, okay, noted. Don't drink and drive. Okay, I just skipped all of that nonsense. Do you know how much faster I'm going to reach my goals? Do you know how much faster I'm going to live out to my fullest potential? Because I decided to learn from somebody else's mistakes. When you see someone going through something, a car accident, marriage falling apart, business crumbling, or someone burning out, like I talked about, that's a mirror, right? It's not a movie. You're not watching somebody else's life with this dramatic, right? It's not a fake, right? It's a mirror of what your life can ultimately look like if you make the same decisions. That's not just their story. It's a possible future version of yours if you're not actually paying attention. So again, learn from other people's mistakes before you make the mistake yourself. Stop touching the already told stovetop. Another one. So we do so much better when we have other people in our lives who care about us. So find an accountability partner, right? They call them accountability buddies, right? Have someone in your life who can call you out when they see the not me beast taking over. The not me beast thrives the most when you're in isolation, right? It loves when you keep secrets or keep things to yourself, when you laugh it off, when you say, I got it under control, even when you don't. Addiction, for instance. Let's say you're addicted to alcohol and you're alone at home, isolated. Okay, that beast starts to talk to you. Not me. I'm not addicted. No, I can have this one glass and I can stop after this one glass and I will be okay, right? Versus if you have an accountability partner, someone that's going to call you out on your shit no matter how angry or upset you get, that's when you have something that can help you ultimately put this beast to rest. You see, if you're not questioning the beast, then you're not leading. You're allowing it to overcome your life. So let your friends, let people in and let people challenge you. Invite the pushback. Invite their ability to care for you, because ultimately, like we already established, they might care for you more than you actually care for yourself at the moment, right? They might tell you what you need to hear versus what you want to hear. So that leads me into the next. Accomplishment, success, it's not sexy. It's boring. But listen to the boring advice. Most warnings exist for a reason, so start actually paying attention to them. The not me beast hates boring. It wants the thrill. It wants the excitement. It wants to tell you that you are the exception, that you're the unwritten rule, that you're superhuman, that it will not happen to me. So start doing boring shit and allow that to be your new normal. For instance, boring sounds like getting 8 hours of sleep. Well, by getting 8 hours of sleep, you are putting to bed the not me beast. It doesn't have time to act because you are safely asleep. Saving money on your paycheck. Well, now the not me beast doesn't speak out like, oh, not me. Like, I can spend whatever I want. I'm not going to go broke. You know how many athletes this happens to? Not me. I made so much damn money and it's going to continue to come. And, I'm never going to go broke until they're broke, right? So by making these not so sexy and boring decisions, yeah, it's not flashy, it's not viral, and it doesn't give you that ultimate dopamine hit that we're searching for, but it works. Every single time it works. These little boring wins, not drinking and driving, not texting and driving, going to therapy, saying no to things that feel good in the moment, but they cost you significant later. And then ask yourself during these situations, these sexy situations, these dopamine hits, is what's the worst thing that can happen? Instead of saying, not me, ain't gonna happen to me. Fuck that. No. What's the worst thing that can come from this? Instead of assuming that you'll always beat the odds, think through the real consequences. Because these consequences are gonna shape your life. These consequences, you can either look to avoid them or you can invite them in. But when you invite these consequences in, or when you invite these beasts in, expect the worst. Know that these consequences will have a huge impact on your life. Because why wait until they arise? Why make that decision to allow yourself to have to go through the pain, through the suffering, when you can avoid that at all costs? Life does not have to be about pain and suffering. And life can work for you instead of against you. But you do have to channel your thoughts. You cannot just work off of emotion. You cannot just allow emotional dopamine hits to take you for a ride, because they will. They'll take you for a ride down a road that you ultimately didn't want to go. And you'll wake up years down the road and say, how the fuck did I let my life get here? So you see, this beast can have some good in it too. It's not all bad. The not me beast isn't all bad. It can drive confidence and boldness, but only when it is controlled. When tamed, it can push you to take calculated, again, I'm going to repeat that, calculated risks that lead to growth. It can serve as a wake-up call that forces you to recognize these patterns before it actually happens, and you can make the change for the better. So I'm not asking you to check in on every single little detail you do and ultimately be the worst, boringest person and never have excitement in your life. I'm not asking you to do that. I'm asking you to weigh the pros and cons on some of the big things that you do that could be potentially costing you the life that you ultimately deserve and want. You say you want these things. You say you want growth. You say you want to better yourself. You say you want to open a business. You say you want financial freedom. Well, this is the cost of that. It's checking yourself, right? Making sure that every decision you make follows this path. Because I promise you, if you put one foot in and one foot out, you're going to spiral. And you're going to go in every fucking direction. And you're going to hate the outcome. So, you see, every person who thought it won't happen to me, they have a story to prove otherwise. Or some don't even get to tell you that story. Some, this inner beast completely defeats them. It takes their life. And so this beast is one of the most deceptive because it truly makes you feel untouchable. Not me. Ain't gonna happen to me. The truth is, none of us are untouchable. The best way to defeat it is to recognize it before the cost, because it can cost you everything. And so once again, I'll repeat, is the juice worth the squeeze, right? Is the juice that's going to come, is the ultimate repercussions worth the risk? And so I'll leave you at that. And again, this beast it can be tamed. And I'm hoping that I here have given you tools necessary to tame the not me beast. And if you want more, please hit us with a follow, hit us with a like, subscribe, and share this with people that you love. Because we all face this beast, but it's what we do with it. Are we utilizing the tools at hand? Are we making ourselves better and putting ourselves ultimately in a position to do better? With that, thank you for watching The Beast Within. I'm your host, Aaron Saltzman. We'll see you on the next episode, and please keep facing these inner beasts and look to do better yourself. Peace.